日本時間5月19日、ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が敵地でのパドレス戦に1番 DH で先発出場をしました。この日の大谷選手は3打数2安打、3出塁の活躍。また、この日先発した山本由伸投手は7回107球を投げ、3安打、2四球、8奪三振、1失点と好投するも、打線の援護なく、無念の4敗目を喫しました。それでも、試合後は山本投手への賛辞が敵陣から送られる場面も。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
He's done a great job. Our coaches have done an awesome job. Roki's been working really hard with them and a lot of dialogue back and forth. I think we appreciate how challenging it is when guys are coming over from the NPB. There's so much to adjust to, and then add the injury on, and like it's not about him being able to pitch here. We saw that in October. So I think the communication and the trust and relationship is really started to flourish, and it's a good combination.
How delicate has the balance been with Shohei's workload and figuring out when to lay off him a little bit, kind of how to fit him into the pitching plans, and has all this been different or more difficult than you guys thought it would be with him going back to a two-way role? Or
I mean, I think the one thing that we've said over and over again, there is no game plan because there is nothing to look back on. So it's really important. Each year is different. It's what he has done this year is different than the last time he's gone, wire to wire doing both. So I think it's really important to continue to have those conversations and the dialogue along the way, and understand that this is incredibly taxing. There's a reason why nobody else does it. So when Doc and company feel like it's good for him to have a day and it'll help him reset, and making sure we're having those conversations along the way. It's important to keep them fresh, not only like the now, but obviously as we get deeper into the season. So it's incredible what he does. So we're gonna have to continue to navigate what that looks like week to week.
Last one, guys.
2 days he had off last week. Do you think that's something you guys are maybe not 2 days back to back, but taking more of that into consideration, just how it has positively impacted the team and maybe more time might be?
Yeah, I think it's starting to understand how his body's responding, and he's never going to say I need a day, or I'm not going to play today. So I think it's incumbent upon us to bring it to him and have the conversation like, hey, this might be wise to take a day today because it'll pay dividends down the road. But like I said, it's a conversation, active conversations. But I know Shohei's going to want to play every day, and it's something that we need to be mindful of having a day could be more beneficial than not.
Since last Tuesday, Shohei Ohtani has looked like himself at the plate. 8 hits, last 17 at-bats, including a home run, a couple of doubles, and a triple off the netting. He's knocked in 8 runs, including 5 on Saturday against his former team in Anaheim. Dave Roberts gave Shohei a chance to reset last week, not hitting on Wednesday or Thursday against the Giants. And we hope the days off wouldn't kill any momentum that he built from a couple of hits and a homer last Tuesday. No, Mark, sure enough, he just kept on hitting over the weekend in Anaheim.
Yeah, he has looked really good. We talked about some of the mechanical things that go wrong when he's in trouble. Looked like that front side was staying closed an awful lot longer. He was staying on the ball longer, driving it the other way. All good things. Good signs for Dodgers and for Shohei. When he's swinging that way, he has the power to drive it a long way.
I love that double he had there in Anaheim going the other way. But even before this series and before he had that 2-day break with the bat, that home run at Dodger Stadium on a line the other way, that kind of reminded him, dude, I can go the other way. I don't have to hit it to center, or I don't have to pull. I can go the other way with authority. And also the last night, he had that Ichiro-esque swing with 2 strikes, staying on a line drive to left field. When he's doing that, he is the best hitter on the planet. No offense to the kid in New York.
Hopefully it continues tonight. The last time the Dodgers were in San Diego, we remember Shohei was being heckled by a Padres fan in the front row right there near the dugout. And Shohei, of course, responded by hitting a home run in the 9th inning.
Hi, John. Well, focusing on Shohei Ohtani, you guys were just talking about him in that Giants series, the home run that he hit, it went to left center. He, as well as Dave Roberts, has always said when he is right, that is where the ball is going. He then had 2 days off and picked it up. Has a four-game hitting streak, at the plate, and he's truly gotten back on track. Dave Roberts today talked about Shohei, what he's been seeing from him right now.
I think with Shohei, I just feel like he's just more energized. I mean, today he's probably going to be a little bit tired right now. He just threw a bullpen. But I expect him to be ready to go once the game starts. But I think that the couple days off did his body and mind some good.
We were just talking to Brandon Gomes about Shohei Ohtani, and if they are going to continue to find different ways to manage him, especially whether he's dealing with fatigue or just the importance of giving him rest as he's back to truly his two-way abilities. And he did say it's something that they're likely going to have to force on Shohei. Shohei is a guy who always wants to be out there in the lineup, doing whatever he can do to provide to this offense. But they had seen just how valuable those 2 days off away from the plate were last week. So it's something that they're going to continue to take into consideration. But for this one tonight, they're just looking to get the win. They want to keep things going. The guys feel really good. And as a collective, they feel like they've come together. And so that is the hope, is to find ways to pick up the win in this one, because it's going to be a tough one against Michael King, guys.
Nobu Yamamoto earned a win in his one career start at Petco Park. That one coming just last August. Tonight, he's hoping for similar success after a bumpy last few starts by his standards.
Well, yeah, so for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, we look at his last outing. It was kind of an interesting one because there were positives, but there were also a few negatives. The positives, that first inning was a very clean one. He was efficient. He was able to get into the 7th inning. But unfortunately, he was giving up the long ball. He gave up 3 home runs, and it was to the 8 and 9 hitters. Dave Roberts today, he was talking about Yoshinobu and what he's been seeing from him in his last few starts and how he's hoping that today he can get back on track, getting to that standard that we're so used to seeing from him.
Yeah, they haven't. It hasn't been great. His kind of expectations. I think he's talked a lot about the first inning, which I think he managed the last outing really well. And then I think this last outing, it was the 8-9 hitters that got him. So I think for him is just go out there and he's prepared. Go out there and do his thing.
Well, the hope today is for Yoshinobu Yamamoto to set the tone. It really is a hope, especially when you look at just the state of the rotation at the moment.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto getting the ball in San Diego. He's looking to keep the ball in the yards. Yamamoto has already allowed 8 home runs in 50 innings this season. He gave up 14 all of last year in 173 2/3 innings. The home run rate has doubled so far here in 2026. And last time out against the Giants, he allowed 3 home runs, 2 of them to a guy who hadn't homered in over a year, and actually has an ERA over 5 in his last 4 starts. Jared's been very uncharacteristic of the World Series MVP.
It has been. Now, the one thing I will say about Yamamoto, this stuff is certainly there. The command, for whatever reason, just hasn't been there. You see that fastball they wanted out of third, leaked middle of the plate. This is a split that is leaking up and towards the barrel of Harrison Bader. Usually that's down and in, maybe getting a chase, weak contact, or swing and miss. Fastball, he gets ambushed the very next pitch. They wanted it out of third, leaks in or half. He ambushes. So he understands, I got to hit my spots. When I hit my spots and I hit my location, I get outs. I don't care who you are. If you're leaving stuff in the middle of the plate, you are going to get hurt at the big league level.
It's command. I mean, he has the control. Difference between control and command, it's really the command. And command of the fastball more than anything. I'm like, yeah, I know we see that split finger, we saw that get hit, and it was up in the zone. But I think overall, even when you look at some of the numbers and the data going on, that this fastball is getting hit harder than we've seen in the years past. And a lot of that is because that fastball is leaking more in the middle of the plate. And that also shows that it's more over the middle of the plate than we've seen on the corners. Really good at dotting that fastball on the corner. So I think if he can find that command and get it over there, I think you'll see less hard hit contact and then less going out of the park.
The Dodgers, they could pretty much say the same thing. They are scoring more runs per game. However, a lot of stars struggling out of the gate. Shohei Ohtani just recently starting to pick up his offense a little bit. Freddie Freeman not off to the kind of start we're used to seeing. Mookie Betts really scuffling, as are Manny and Fernando. The faces you expect to carry a club really, I think, give your backup players a chance to stand up and stand out.
Yeah, this is really interesting, isn't it? And Ohtani, he went through a 10-game streak where he hit a .111. He was chasing out of the zone a lot, but you just mentioned it. Over the last 5 games, Ohtani starting to hit .470 91 and doing better.
Padres going to be tasked with getting to this man. A quick thought or two on Yamamoto.
He struggled in the first inning. There you see the 6.75 earned run average. It's not the first time, Mike. 2 years ago, he had a 6.0 earned run average over the course of the season. It did have a clean inning last time, but this is an opportunity for the Padres to maybe take advantage in the first inning against him.
The tying run on, and Ohtani coming up. Craig Stammen is on the top step of that Padres dugout, giving Morejon an extra pitch or two to throw, or perhaps even letting Jason Adam face him. Morejon has stopped throwing. They're going to let Adam face him. Now, it is worth pointing out, while Morejon's been nasty against lefties, Ohtani's 4 for 10 with a home run against him. Kim has a pretty short lead over there. Ohtani, base hit right field. Kim heads for third. Tatis throws over there late. They've got him cornered with 2 out. They've got the tying run 90 feet away.
So electing to stay with Jason Adam and righty on lefty, when you've got a good changeup like that, that's the equalizer. That was a really good first pitch changeup from Jason.
On the ground into right field, a base hit. Heading first to third is Kim. Throw will be late, and he's in safely at third base. Now 90 feet away. Now that walk with 2 outs sets up the opportunity for Ohtani to hit. And he gets a base hit to the right side, and now the tying run 90 feet away.
This is one where if you had opportunities, you had to find a way to try to capitalize them. The Dodgers gave themselves 7 and couldn't capitalize on them. And it's just tough. This is one of those, as a player, you're going, once again, unbelievable start by Yamamoto, and we couldn't finish this one. We couldn't win this one when you had such a great start by your ace.
And we talked on the pregame show about this could very well be a pitcher's duel, and that's exactly what we got as we take a look at Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Michael King side by side. Very similar line scores as each guy goes 7 innings. Michael King gave up 4 hits, Yamamoto only 3, but you see the difference was one of those 3s was a solo home run, accounting for the 1 run in the ball game. 8 strikeouts for Yoshi, 9 strikeouts for Michael King. And on the other side, Jerry, Yamamoto was outstanding in this game as well. We talked on the pregame about him allowing a lot of home runs early this season. He did give one up in the first inning, but when that's the only run you allow the entire night, you should win that game.
100%. You want your ace to go out there and give you 6, at least 6, but possibly 7, and he only goes out there and gives up 1 run in 7 innings while striking out 8. As an offense, we have to find a way to manufacture 2 or 3 runs to give him some support. It just didn't happen tonight. Just an ultimate pitcher's duel. King was on. Yamamoto was absolutely nasty. Gives him that 1 solo shot, but you see the movement, the command of all those pitches. Great pitching for us, so Yamamoto.
Yeah, he really settled in. I mean, you give up that 1 home run. You look at the first inning, too. They made him work. He threw 27 pitches in that first inning, but then comes back the next and only throws 6 pitches to get out of that inning, and then really found his groove. He was able to find his rhythm, and this is the Yamamoto we've come to just enjoy and watch. And I think he was just going out there, getting the swings and misses, inducing weak contact as well, and probably just waiting for some run support. It's something that he hasn't had very much this season. And man, the late movement and the split finger, that 1 split finger hung, and that's where they capitalized with the home run. That was really it. All the other ones were darting out of the zone. He had the command with the fastball. He looked really sharp today.
And I think it was Oro who said it during the game that hanging split's like a really bad changeup. It's just sitting there. We saw it last start for Yamamoto, hung one to Harrison Bader. When the ball's sitting there, guys are going to square it up. But again, just 1 mistake, that should not beat you in a big league ball game. Unfortunate.
We've had a lot of guys do really well. You know, Gavin Sheets was National League Player of the Week this week. So, you know, our offense is getting better. It's continuing to get better. Yamamoto pitched a great game tonight. He's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, if not one of the best, if the best. And he threw a great game tonight, mixed up his pitches really well. So we battled him as best we can. We hit a ton of line drives again tonight. You know, I think that's kind of our goal as a team, is to lead the league in line drives. And one thing we cannot control is whether they go at somebody or if they hit a hole. And eventually we believe that they're going to hit a lot of holes.
Were you surprised that Andujar's home run in the first inning was really what made the difference on the scoreboard, obviously?
Yeah, I mean,
I felt like we put together pretty good at bats. Yamamoto was phenomenal, and in that first inning, it was a laser by Toddy and then a home run. And so I felt like we were going to put together more than that, but Yamamoto's great. So luckily, we were able to keep him to 0.
Were you surprised that Kim stayed at third base instead of trying to hit one in the 6th inning?
What are you talking about? Oh, on the throwaway?
Yeah.
I think that Toddy made a very good effort play to get there, and I think their third base coach saw that. But I would not run on Toddy's arm, especially from shallow right field there. So I think made a good decision keeping him there, and definitely helped me out a little bit.
You were excellent in this one. It really was only that mistake in the first inning with the home run. What were you seeing in that at bat that you think just allowed him to get that swing on you?
今日全体的には素晴らしかったんですけども、ホームランを許した1球、相手の打席に関してはどう思いますか？
初回多少こうなんていうんだろう、力みがあったと言いますか、そこからこう投球のフォームの間の部分を意識して、2イニング目ぐらいからやっとこういいピッチングになってきましたけど、すごく悔しい失投でした。
That specific at bat, I think I was just a little bit like pressing a bit, muscling up, and then, but after that, from getting into second inning, I think I was getting to my groove, my rhythm, started finding my rhythm.
Is that one of those things where you point to just some of those first inning struggles and the challenges of getting going early in the game?
やっぱりいつも最近立ち上がりでちょっと苦しむ場面が多いんですけど、やっぱそこってやっぱ現時点でちょっと課題だと思ってますか？
そうですね。今日の試合もやっぱりそこがその1点で、試合が決まりましたし、よくはなっていると思いますけど、課題の一つだなと思います。
Yes, I agree. At the beginning, settling in to the game, that's one these days. It has been a little challenge to me, but however, I started feeling better every time I go up there.
What can you do to try to settle into a game faster? You mentioned that you had been working on it.
その立ち上がり良くなるために何かやっていかないこととかってありますか？
やって
その立ち上がり良くなるために課題、そこをどういうふうに修正していくかっていう。
やるべきことは自分の中で、すごく明確にあるので、これから改善できると思います。
In my mind, I'm not going to say that here, but in my mind, I know how to fix it, that challenge, struggle. So I think I'm going to work on it.
Did you want the splitter to be further down or inside, or is that where you wanted that splitter to be?
ホームラン打たれた1球スプリット、あれは自分が思ったところにやっぱいかなかったってことですか？
そうですね。低めにもちろん狙って投げました。
I was trying to get it down, but because that was on my mistake.
But yeah, it was just one of those things that, like you said, it was a pitcher's duel. Yosh made a one mistake to the second hitter, hits a homer, and then that's all they could muster up. So fortunately, we just couldn't put anything together.
Yoshi has had a decent year this year, even though the record doesn't show it. As a manager, how do you keep his confidence up as the year goes on, even though we're still pretty early on in this year?
With Yoshi, I'm not too worried about confidence. He's had the last few haven't been great per his standards, but tonight I thought was a really good one. But yeah, the win-loss, you got to score runs for him too. So it was good to see him get back after that kind of shaky first inning tonight and pitch the way he did.
Part of the error where the ball got thrown into the outfield do you think that was like just sort of confusion on the play in terms of like the late stop sign, or is that something where you feel like that is good to be kind of more passive on that sort of spot?
I don't, it's kind of the timing of it where Tatis came up with the ball, then when Dino's got to make the decision, and it's just hard, because you don't know that he's not going to come up with it clean. And so at that point in time, to be quite honest, Dino had the best view of the runner coming in, Kim, and, kind of where they were at on the field. So it's one of those things that I just can't, I'm definitely not going to second guess it. It's one of those that, yeah, it's unfortunate. 2 outs, obviously. If we would have known different, he probably would have done something different, but that's a hard one.
Yoshi made one mistake to Miguel, hanging splitter, and got it. And Yeah, it's just a good pitching game, and we had some opportunities, but hard to score against Mason Miller. But it was just a good pitching matchup tonight.
That Michael King creates.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to cover realistically almost about 30 inches because you got ball to strike pitches, you got backdoor sliders that are starting balls coming back, you got front door sinkers for lefties. So it's not just the plate you're worried about. You've got to worry about a whole lot of different things. And we haven't seen many backdoor sliders, and me and Max got them, in the first time around. So then it opens up the front door sliders, and then the sinkers, and then you look for that, and you got changes through those zones. So he just had all of it working tonight.
Point about Ohtani, I mean, they go with the way Ohtani goes, right? He's going to have to hit. They're going to need him to be a superstar MVP caliber hitter, just like he's doing on the mound. In order for them to win a World Series, he's got to be the best hitter on their team.
Yeah, and they got him rolling again. It just felt like it was some period of time, but they would get him rolling again.
Are we okay with this?
Yes.
At the top. That means Sanchez has 20 more strikeouts.
Yeah.
Actually, no, 30 more strikeouts.
I'm going to give you a dark horse, a guy that's also eligible on the list. Don't count out Zach Wheeler. He's going to be climbing up that list quickly.
By the end of the year, he will be on that list.
Is the competition eventually going to wear down the great Shohei Ohtani?
No, I think this is what he wants. I think he likes having a target, and his target is, I want to show the world that I am a Cy Young caliber pitcher, and I think this is the year he's going to do it.
They're going to need the pen. He's not going to be. I don't think he can last trying to go deep in games like he's been.
He's going to need to if he wants to win the Cy Young. His innings cannot be so far back.
He doesn't have to.
He's got to have to be around 155, 160.
Yes.
But if you have a under 1 ERA, let's just imagine that. There's no way he doesn't win the Cy Young. If his ERA is under, why is that .082 right now?
I mean, 1.12 from Bob Gibson made the sport lower the mound.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah, but Bob Gibson was 9 innings every game. I'm saying Shohei has to go 5 innings. And if he's under 1, he wins. These other guys can throw 200 innings.
Sounds like a great race.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。